Hey, welcome back to another YouTube video. My beautiful friends, I missed you guys. This is completely my fault though, haven't been putting content out as much as I should, but here we go. In today's video we are doing crisscross pop smoke braids. They are all over my Instagram, so you guys should definitely follow me. I am recording way faster than I am talking, but here we go. So as you can see, I pre-sectioned each little section or pre-section the head into half and then 5 quadrants for a total of 10 braids. So there are 2 braids in the back that will not have a twinsy twin, but the other 2 or the 4 braids on each side will be crisscrossing. So as you can see, we start my usual stitch braid method, where I apply gel to the left to right, and then I split it down the middle, apply gel in the middle, and then I smooth everything out. And then you see me here just stitching my stitches, my stitch braiding method. Please let me know in the comments, guys, what kind of braids you want to see. I've kind of been like, if I see them, I read them, and I try to do my best to put that content out as much as possible. But if you guys have any individual questions, please let me know. I do see all the comments, not always immediately, but I do get to them, I promise. I pinky promise. But yeah, so as you can see me doing here, I am just stitching the back of his head, with my usual stitches. Sometimes I'll interchange between my fingers and the comb. I typically like my stitches with the comb just because it ensures that each stitch is actually congruent and uniform, like if every stitch is the same size, width, and shape. Sometimes I use my fingers though, if they're smaller in the front, just to make sure that the base of the braid is actually pretty small. So I know I get a lot of questions about how, if, and why I may or may not use my fingers, so that's what I'm doing. Yeah, so alright, and as we see, as I get to the base of this braid, you can see my finger placement switch up right in like a couple seconds, but that's only because yeah, we gotta create. We gotta get that tension to make sure the braid is uniformly tight all the way through. So that's where you see my I know I be feeling like in the video sometimes when I film these that it looks mad aggressive when I like move my clients' heads, but I promise it's not. I talk to them. You don't hear me talking to them, but I like tap their head like, hey, I'm moving your head this way, or hey, I'm moving your head this way. But yeah, so this is the next braid. So what I did here, and I did that off camera, I sectioned out a piece of the top, like a little square of one of the pre-section quadrants, and I sectioned that out for the same 2 quadrants. So the next 2 braids that I'm working on are the ones closest to the braid I just braided, but I sectioned out the 2 quadrants and I made like squares, so there should be 4 squares. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna diagonal them. So I am going to braid this top quadrant into the bottom right quadrant, so that's going to be 1 braid, and then I'm going to braid the top right quadrant into the bottom left quadrant. I have to explain this in much detail as I can because unfortunately my camera cut off, guys. I'm so sad about that. You'll see me braid about halfway through the bottom right quadrant before it just cuts off, but it's pretty self-explanatory throughout the whole head. It's just going to do that all the way through. You need to make sure that your quadrants are congruent. So the top quadrant needs to be uniform all the way around the head. So all the top quadrant lines need to be same all the way through. I'm gonna refilm this video very soon. Like I said, I didn't realize it had stopped filming, and I was just like all the way through the head at that point. I was like, ah. But you'll see at the end of the video when I put the finished product all the way together. But you'll see that everything is completely congruent. Everything matches up. Just make sure your squares all align. The top and the bottom squares all align. But yes. Oh, and the thing about these braids, I know I start from usually the middle of a section when it comes to starting the braids, but you need to make sure you start from the corners. That is very crucial to this style. Otherwise, it won't look like the picture. You can get lumps and bumps. It won't be straight. Like, just make sure you're starting from the corners. Plus, that's easier when it comes to having a very seamless small to bigger braid, if that makes sense. Yeah, so as I finish this quadrant, as you can see, it's all the way diagonal. And then I cross over into the bottom quadrant. See right here, and so I cross over to the bottom quadrant, and then you continue to braid like normal. I start to go diagonally, but then you can see probably about halfway I shift my placement a little bit so that the braid goes straight down rather than at the diagonal. That way it sits in the middle of the quadrant rather than the corner. If I hope I'm explaining this right. I'm gonna teach a class one day, guys. I'm gonna go live. I'm gonna teach a class and everything. I've been trying to work on how I explain these things because I know not everybody's like a visual or hands-on. They're better when it comes to explaining. But yeah, I think this is what my video cut out very shortly soon. But it's like this all the way around, and make sure whatever braid you start with is the same braid you start with each and every time when you braid each quadrant. Otherwise, you can tell that they don't look right. And here is the finished project. So as you can see, everything is uniform and neat all the way around. I'm going to be filming this video again very soon, but thank you so much. Thank you for everybody. Please like and subscribe, and yeah, let me know what you guys want to see in the future. Bye.